Hey guys, welcome back to another video review of Transformers Age of Extinction Slug. And I just gotta say, I really do like this figure. It's not my favorite out of the Dymots, but it is a really nice figure. With that being said, it does have a few minor flaws, but nothing too big that we can't look past. One would be the weapon storage. Yeah, they just kind of stick out on the sides. So we're just going to go ahead and remove those. They're just two swords. They're decent looking swords. They're just a soft rubber, so you can bend them pretty good. You know, just new child safety rules. That can't be avoided. So we're just going to set these guys off to the side for now. And let's start looking at the figure. He does have some rubber horns, all three of them. They're all just rubber. The jaw, I believe, yeah, it's all rubber. So you can turn it, you can twist it. These little guys on the end are rubber. And the tail, this whole piece that I just bent upwards, this is all rubber. This is all just one rubber piece. So he's got a lot of rubber on him, but again, it's safety reasons, so I can look past that. It's quite understandable. You know, you wouldn't want a little kid playing with this and, you know, poke out an eye or something, famous saying goes. He does have mouth articulation, as you saw. He can open and close. His head does not rotate at all. It'd be nice to get some up and down. He does have downward movement, so you can act like he's grazing. But there really isn't too much to that. There's no upward movement, no anything, just the downward. His arms are on a ball joint, so you can get some movement, but they are kind of restricted. Simple hinge joint for the elbow, and there's no articulation in the foot. His rear legs are a lot less. You can't really move them. They do have some foot movement. That's pretty much it. You can kind of move the leg in certain areas, but other than that, there really isn't too much. He does have some nice painting. This might come across as orange to you guys, but it's a nice kind of red with some purple mixed in on his head sculpt, and he's got that going throughout his face. Just get a little close up on his face. So he's got like just a nice little detailing in the horns and in the actual sculpt in the face. We're dealing with the paint, the silver, the purple, the red. He does have some nice blue eyes. I'm not sure how good they're coming across, but they're like a metallic blue. As you can see, here's the Autobot symbol. And that's the only one I could see on this entire figure until we got him transformed. There really just is not another Autobot symbol on this guy, which I kind of like. You know, it's small, it's dainty, it's out of the way, it's not noticeable. Other than that, he's got some nice detailing on the back, like his skeleton just kind of goes right along his backbone, I guess. Alright, so let's get him transformed. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to flip this part up and up right here. Okay? So now we got that out of the way. What we want to do is we just want to reach in behind here and pull out what's going to be the foot and robot mode on both of them. And then from there we can take the feet, just bend them down out of the way. And then what we want to do is we want to pull this and just swing this down and around. And now we can fold that foot in. We're going to do the same with the other side. We're just going to fold this down, kind of straighten it out, and then fold the foot down. And that's all we have to do with the feet. So now we got a somewhat kind of a standing robot. Not too bad. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to come around here to the side and unpeg this part right here. Okay, and we're just going to kind of pull that down and around and out of the way. And we're going to do that same with the other side. I'm just going to pull this out, come down with it, and just get it out of the way. Okay, now these guys can be rotated down as far as they can go, just to kind of get them out of the way. Okay, so the arms we just want to rotate down and kind of out of the way. Okay, so now we're left with this mess. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to split the head. So we're just going to split it there, and then we're going to come up to right about the beak on these guys. We're just going to want to get our fingernail in there and go ahead and split that apart, thus revealing the head. Now these arms, what we're supposed to do with these is just rotate them kind of up and down. So once we get the head kind of out of the way, we can do that. So okay, so down and just kind of in. And there should be a slot that they peg in if you got it right. So right. Well, it's going to come up across camera. So that peg, there's a peg hole right there. You see it? And that's just going to peg in right there. So let's make sure we're back all the way and peg in. There we go. Then we can let that rest. Okay, so now we'll do the other side. So we just want to make sure that our arms are bent in. And this is where it just takes a little bit of finesse. And then you want to rotate that leg up. Okay? And then we want to just pull this back. And it should kind of, it's kind of a sissy lock, but it does kind of lock into place, which is good. And these kind of just hold it there. So once you get that done, we just want to come in here and put that paw right into place. It's kind of difficult if you don't get it right the first time, but once you get it, it just kind of slides right in. Okay, then we want to take these and just fold them down, position the head, bring these down, straighten out the legs, and then next thing we're going to want to do is we're just going to want to flip out the hands. So we just take them and then close up the forearm. Now we got a working hand. And again, one more time, we're just going to flip out the hand and close the forearm. And there we go. Now we can just position them the way we want them. Being that they're ball joints and then they have a swivel joint. Okay. Yep. Some swivel joints are tighter and some ball joints are looser. So it makes it a little difficult to get them to stand the way you want them. And there. Okay, so that is him thusly in robot mode. We could deck him out with his swords. You can only hold them in his hands. Other than that, there's really no other place to hold them that I know of. I mean, if you guys know of another place, leave a comment down below, and I will go ahead and do a second review on just weapon storage, or throw it into with this one at the very end, or something along the lines of that. Okay? But as for articulation, he does have ball jointed shoulders. He gets a decent range of motion. His outward motion is kind of hindered by the head. Now you can move the head up, but then it's going to run into his head, which is also on a ball joint. So I just tend to like to leave it down. And they also tend to run into these quite a bit. I mean, there is kind of gap in there, I guess, but it still kind of runs into it kind of bad. But what do you expect? So, again, 90 at the elbow, just a single joint. He has a bicep swivel. It's only turns, though, out. It doesn't turn in on mine. I don't know if that's just an issue on mine or not. Let me check this other one out. Yeah, so it turns in. And this one doesn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just have to be a little more forceful. Let's try it. If I break it, oh well. Oh, yeah, there it goes. So it just takes a little bit of force, but yeah. So he's got a bicep swivel. His wrists, there is nothing really in the wrists. You can kind of rotate them back and forth if you want, but that's really about it. His legs, he's got a ball joint in the hip and a hinge joint at the knee. Now, due to this outrageous backpack, which we can bring it up, and then, let's see, we'd have to bring it up with this out, which doesn't look the greatest, I have to admit. That's about the only way you can get it. So we can leave it down like that. So he does have a ball joint at the hip, hinge at the knee, about 90 degrees give or take, and a swivel right above the knee. So mid-thigh. His feet really don't have any articulation. They just have that up and down movement due to transformation. His head, let's zoom in and check that out. So his head, it is on a ball joint, so he can look side to side, up, down. Okay, and now that we got him transformed into robot mode and equipped with his nice swords, we are going to go ahead and give you a size comparison. And here is just a normal Dr. Pepper. So 5 inches from head to feet, give or take. Not a big figure, he's a deluxe. A little shorter of a deluxe, but a deluxe nonetheless. I think Strafe was a little taller than him. If I had him out of the shelving, I would go ahead and show you guys. But other than that, I mean, this has been about all there is to him. He's a real simple transformation, but it's satisfying. There really isn't too many complaints. I do not like all the rubber on this figure, but like I said before, I can understand why. I do love that he has a waist articulation, so we can come in here and we can just turn that. It's really nice, but for his hips, this tail gets in the way a heck of a lot, so you can't really work around that tail, which is sad, because otherwise he would have been a pretty awesome figure. And he is really awesome. I do enjoy it. He's just great. I love the head sculpts on all these guys. They are all just really cool head sculpts. I love the night theme that they have going on for these guys. It just makes them look apart from everyone else. With that being said, I think I'm going to end this review here. I want to wish everyone just the best of luck in whatever they decide to do with their lives. I've just been recently getting into this. I've collected Transformers my entire life. I started with Beast Wars, which shows you how old I am, and worked my way up. So I just want to wish everyone, find something you love to do and just go for it. It's about the one piece of advice I can offer any of you, because if you do not go for it, then you'll never know. And never knowing kind of sucks. So, this has been a video review of Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Slug.